Well, let me just show you guys right now. They are able to get a much closer look at this airplane right now just behind me. It's at the intersection of Shoemaker and Cooper. Now, a lot of the power lines were wrapped around this plane, and they've just started to unroll those and get a closer look at the plane. Power lines, what you can't see because it's so dark out here, to the right and to the left, a lot of lines were dipping. Some poles are listing after this plane came in, and a lot of witnesses saw that, and it even injured one woman on the ground.
I heard an engine stop.
Witnesses who saw the plane coming in low across the sky on the east side this evening knew it didn't look right.
I was walking up the street here, and then all of a sudden the plane just was a little too low, and it actually hit poles in the wires here.
They say the plane was silent, but there was a boom when the transformers blew.
The pilot, 18-year-old, was a banner plane that was flying over the fireworks area. He was forced to land. What we've learned, he ran out of fuel, and in doing so, he was forced to land striking overhead power lines.
That's when the plane came down a little too low, hit the wires. That was it. The wires started coming down, flying everywhere.
And one of those lines hit a woman on the ground.
I look over there, and that's when a lady got hit with the wire, so she was on the ground. And then the man, he jumped out the plane, ran over here with us. They did CPR on her, and she came back, I guess, because they brought the stretcher and the breather machine.
The whole thing was a jolt to this neighborhood.
I thought I was going to be a little bit braver than this. I was really scared. I was really scared.
Just to give you an update on conditions now, the pilot is okay, was taken to the hospital, that 18-year-old young man, just for precautions. The woman who was hit by the power line is, in the chief's words, very serious condition at the hospital. Some witnesses thought some other people who were trying to help her at the beginning may have also been injured. We haven't heard any more about that. What you can also see is a lot of electrical workers tonight working furiously in the bucket trucks trying to get those power lines cleaned up now that the power is turned off. There's no word on when it's all going to be said and done, but for now, a lot of the neighbors have said the ones who do have power have limited power right now, so they're waiting for all of this to be cleaned up. But we're going to be following those conditions for sure. We're live on the east side tonight. Jason Colthorp, Local 4. The Atrium Apartments on 9 Mile in Southfield. Newly renovated, new appliances, hey, new carpet, but no heat. Not for at least the last 10 days anyway. Some tenants are afraid to go on camera about the situation, but we're told people are bundling up and using space heaters and ovens to keep warm and other things.
Cuddling up with my girl.
You guys live here or managers? We finally ran into someone claiming to be a manager but got no explanation. Can you tell me why the heat isn't turned on?
Can you please leave this way, sir?
Absolutely, but can you tell us why these people don't have heat?
After you.
Is anything being done to turn the heat back on?
No comments.
On our way to the leasing office, a maintenance man told us they are working on the problem right now.
They got some people in the basement now working on it.
But it's been 10 days. What have they been doing the last 10 days?
Oh, we just messing around.
Any kids living in there?
Yeah, a whole lot of kids.
I also heard the elevator doesn't work.
Yeah, it don't work.
Never has.
And I'm paying $900 a month.
And again, management asked us to leave. I mean, you make it sound like you don't care about these people. This may be a drug-free zone, but there are mushrooms inside this school. Not the illegal kind, the disgusting kind. Teachers tell me they've seen mushrooms growing in other schools where they were just scraped off and school went on as normal. But there's nothing normal in the Detroit Public Schools these days, say teachers.
The sick out is a response to just some of the deplorable conditions that the students find themselves in.
Tracy Russell is a DPS grad, a DPS teacher, and his 3 kids are in DPS.
It's a turning point for Detroit. The stigma on urban education that has to end, to just live in a district where you constantly hear this isn't right, they're performing poorly, and I know it's not true.
As teachers call for public hearings to address these problems, they can't help but see a parallel to Flint, where unaddressed problems by the state, which has been in charge of DPS for 7 years, is leading to possible dangerous health conditions for children.
They were poisoned to save a dime. Now, so it just begs the question, we can do better. And what the sick out says, enough is enough.
If we told you the Tigers struggled against the Pirates today, you'd probably think that fans were pretty bummed out.
They actually ended up with some weird things to cheer about thanks to one of their own, a fan who managed to haul in 5 foul balls during the game. One game.
Yeah, unbelievable here. Jason Colthorp spoke with him after the game and joins us live from Comerica Park. Jason?
5 foul balls. Are you kidding me? I mean, everybody's still talking about it. Scooping them up, 5 foul balls. Most of us go our whole lives and never catch one. So let's break down the good hands of this season ticket holder from Roseville. 2 of them caught with the glove, and he also scooped 3 of them up with his bare hand. And 3 balls caught in 1 inning.
Yeah, the phone's been blowing up. I think the battery's about dead on the phone.
Bill Dugan is an expert in catching foul balls, considering how many he has at home.
It's in the hundreds. I don't even know.
So is the secret where you're sitting?
I guess it depends how you want to catch it. I took the easy route, which are the foul off the bat coming over the backstop.
But if you think it requires an inherent skill or a strategy, you'd be wrong.
It's absolute luck.
And today was Bill's luckiest day ever.
You know, he's gotten 5 balls today.
Yep, count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 foul balls, plus 1 more during batting practice.
After the 4th ball, it was just, whoa, no way. You know, this is crazy. You know, the crowd was pretty much into it.
Had a rip on 2-0 and send it back into the seats. You get another good catch.
Then after the 5th ball, it was just unbelievable. There's no way. No way. It's just happened.
It was a little more than a year ago, last May 11th, when Eric Trombley of St. Clair Shores found out why he was having trouble breathing. A cancerous tumor had formed around one of his lungs.
I didn't go to the doctor saying I might have cancer. That wasn't even a thought, you know.
Diagnosed at just 41, he immediately started treatment, but the cancer spread.
Once you found out, this went downhill and I was in and out of hospital.
Recently, things got worse, and Trombley, a father of 3, went back to the hospital where he will stay as he started thinking of the things he wouldn't be here for, like weddings and births. There was one thing he had a shot at.
I really wanted to see her graduate. Wasn't going to get out of here, and so they brought the party to me.
So with the help of his ex-wife, the superintendent, school board president, and other faculty presented Alex with her diploma in his hospital room at St. John.
Say thanks to everybody for coming.
Like, they just didn't send a lunch lady and a teacher out here for it. They sent, you know, school superintendents and stuff like that. It was really moving.
And I'm really glad he got to see that because I know that meant a lot to him and everybody else around.
And when the time comes, Eric wants her to look ahead and not behind.
So to fulfill her dream, I said, you can't like stay back and like base your life on what I'm doing, if I'm going to die or not, or when I'm going to die. I said, you got to go live your life.
Taking time out of everything else in your life to be here while you can. You know what I mean?
Carmen, Mark Ross was on an industrial cleaning job in Indiana when a family emergency had him rushing home, and he wasn't about to stop until he saw the skyline of the Motor City.
I got a phone call around 3 o'clock in the morning.
The phone call Sunday morning was from home. Mark Ross's 15-year-old sister Eliza had been killed in a car accident.
We call her Lala. She was amazing.
So Mark and a friend immediately started back for Michigan. Just into Ohio, they got pulled over. His friend had an outstanding warrant and was taken into custody and the car towed. Then an amazing thing happened. Ohio Sergeant David Robinson offered to help get Mark home.
He asked me, like, man, come on, I'll just take you, man. You got to get to your family, get to your mother. You know, my mother was really depressed at that point. And so I just took out my pride and I got in the car with him.
It was an emotional 100-plus miles before Robinson stopped. But before they parted ways,
as I was getting out the car, he just reached over and was like, Mark, can I pray for you? I'm like, sure, go ahead, I need it. And he said one of the most meaningful, heartfelt prayers, you know, and it really touched me. Like, he made me really see a light that I already saw, but, you know, there's just so much stuff going on around the world right now, but he really opened up a door for me, and I'm so humbly grateful for that officer.
That's when they took this photo that's now been shared more than 100,000 times, along with Mark's message.
I had no intentions on this going as viral and making the changes and the groundbreaking revelations that all cops are not bad cops.
He hopes his experience can calm some of the unrest in this country, but for now, he's focused on laying his little sister to rest.
I really think I gained a brother and an angel at the same time.
Originally, when this story broke and was getting a lot of traction, the thought was Robinson drove him all the way to Detroit, which wasn't true. He drove more than 100 miles, but his friend actually came and met him and took him the rest of the way back to Detroit. Robinson, by the way, was invited by the family to Eliza's funeral. He has accepted, but right now, services have not yet been planned. Reporting live tonight, Jason Colthorp, Local 4. The Facebook page is called Buddy's Bucket List, and with pictures and video, it shows the adventures of this aging dog, and it's so heartwarming we wanted to meet the real Buddy, and here he is. As it turns out, Buddy's story starts way before this.
Buddy's owner of 14 years unexpectedly passed away in February, and he was kind of left with nowhere to go.
That's where Loren Kazan comes in. She volunteers at a Rejoiceful Animal Rescue in Mount Clemens.
And that's when I saw his photograph, and I decided I would bring him home. It wasn't soon after I picked him up that I noticed a lot of lumps and bumps on his body.
The lumps were cancer, and doctors think Buddy only has a short time, maybe even a month, to live.
Right now we're able to manage his pain with medication, and when we're not able to do that any longer, we'll make the decision to let him go peacefully, knowing how loved he is and that he's had a very full life.
That's when the gang at the rescue came up with the bucket list, things any dog would love before Buddy's time is up.
We've taken him to McDonald's for a kid's meal, to Dairy Queen to get some ice cream.
Buddy also had a pup date, although the romance fizzled, and is scheduled for a trip to the beach and a steak dinner.
You're a good boy. You are a good boy.
Buddy is helping Kazan raise awareness about senior animals who are often passed over at rescues, leaving them to be put to sleep because of overcrowding, which would have been Buddy's fate.
If we have made a difference in one senior life as a result of this, my mission is complete.
So for now, Buddy's doing great. He's having fun, and Loren's message is getting out. She says she's seen more adoptions of senior animals, and other people are vowing to simply spend more quality time with their senior animals. In Groveland Township, Jason Colthorp, Local 4.